Welcome to Play Branson, where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm here today with Haley Westrich. Haley, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I have a story, and it's not even on our script here, but yesterday I was out playing Frisbee with my kids, and I got hit right in the face, and I thought I would have this big black eye today. And so my son, he said, Dad, if you would put a banana peel on your face, it will be fine. And so instead of ice, I had this banana peel on my face last night. So
there you go.
Anyway, an interesting story that nobody cares about.
Hey, all good.
But here's what's going on is this weekend. Young Christians, we've been talking about this, but it is this weekend coming up in Branson. And so we have on Friday night, we have Bon Ray. Who do we have on Saturday? Do you know?
Oh, is Josh Wilson there?
No, it's not. Well, he's there, but that's Sunday.
Okay.
So Saturday is King and Country.
Oh.
They're huge, folks. If you've never seen these guys, they're huge. And they're really good. And then Sarah Reed will also be there. But, you know, Branson, like, there's going to be a ton of teenagers in Branson this weekend. Yeah. And people don't ever think Branson is a big teenage place, but guess what? They're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of shows that they absolutely love. You got the Haygoods for one.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah, and there's magic shows, but there's a lot to do besides even shows for teenagers.
You've got all the attractions. You've got Bigfoot. You got the new Runaway coasters. You got shopping, and of course the restaurants. I mean,
yes, and then of course you have the new Time Traveler out at Silver Dollar City roller coaster, which a lot of people will. I mean, there'll probably be long lines for that this weekend. So we have some new people that we've never talked to before.
We do.
Steve and Chelsie Odom.
Yeah.
And they are with these two shows, Beach Boys, California Dreamin', and then Thank You for the Music, a modern tribute to ABBA.
Both sound really fun.
So have you ever listened to Beach Boys music?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Okay.
Some good songs.
And so we have a little bit of trivia here. Name of the song. Well, she got her daddy's car, and she's cruising through the hamburger stand now. What is that? And she'll have...
Fun, fun, fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
We always take my car because it's never been beat. What is that one?
Shoot. Can't think of the title.
I get around.
Yeah.
I get around. And then Dancing Queen. Young and sweet, only...
17.
There you go. And then Brian Wilson wrote the lyrics for Surfin' USA, but it is set to music of a hit song released in the 50s. Who wrote the original music?
Oh, I don't know.
It was Chuck Berry.
Really?
Yes. So anyway, we're going to talk to Stephen and Chelsie here in just a moment and learn more about them and their two shows over at the Hamners Variety Theater. So we'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to Play Branson. We're here today with Stephen and Chelsie Odom. And they're actually with two shows here in town, Beach Boys, California Dreamin', and Thank You for the Music, a modern tribute to ABBA, or ABBA, however you want to say it. So welcome, guys. It's good to have you here.
Hi, glad to be here.
So I haven't got to meet you yet, so this is the first. Well, I met you coming in, but this is the first time to get to meet you guys, and so I'm just excited to really learn about your history and how'd you guys get to Branson and your careers prior to that, and so.
Sure. Well, we moved here in 2012 because I got a job at Sight and Sound to be in Joseph. So I got the job offer, and then I proposed to my then girlfriend, and then I moved up here by myself to work. And then one weekend I flew home, we got married, and then drove back up to Branson, and we've been here ever since.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So I was there for 2 seasons at Sight and Sound, and then she was able to get on at Silver Dollar City, and that was kind of the start of our performing careers here in Branson.
So take us back before Branson, because were you performing before?
Yeah, well, before that, let's see, we met, it's been almost 10 years ago now, and we both kind of grew up doing theater, musical theater, and I did a lot of shows growing up, and that's how we met, actually, was we went to a show separately with mutual friends, and then we met at the show, and It was love at first sight,
You
and
ended
then
up
So was
sitting
it like a date? With
it wasn't.
someone
No,
else?
it wasn't a setup. It wasn't. No, nothing like that. We each knew the friends that were there, and we kind of got together, and it was great because I was basically doing strictly musical theater at that point, and she was traveling with a band, and so she kind of introduced me to that side of the entertainment world. So I'll let you talk a little bit about what you were doing.
We both kind of influenced each other. Like I introduced him to a little bit of songwriting, or like real music as I called it. And then he turned me into kind of a theater nerd. So we kind of just mixed the two things together. So yeah.
And then we found in Branson that there's a little bit of both. So
Yeah.
we've done musicals in Branson, and we've done more variety shows. So it kind of satisfies both of our creative needs. But yeah, so I kind of joined her band back then, and I played keys and sang backup for her. And
Oh, yeah.
she was traveling around everywhere and singing all the time. So that was kind of the start of our relationship, was us getting able to sing in front of people, and it was great.
So I see that you're both from Georgia, but Chelsie, I want you to take us back to your career and give us the history, because you started at a young age.
I did. I started singing. Well, my first public performance was when I was 9, and then I recorded my first album when I was 11, and that was with Jason Horde, who travels around with Third Day now. He's their lead guitarist, and that was super crazy for a kid to do that. I didn't even know what was going on, but the story is my dad was getting his hair cut, and the lady who was cutting his hair was friends with Jason, and she was just talking about him, and he said, well, my daughter likes to sing, and maybe they could end up doing something together. And so she talked to Jason, and he said, I've always wanted to record an album for someone. He had never done it before. He wanted to be a producer. So he said, let her be my guinea pig. Why not? Let's bring this kid in here and see what happens. So I did that, and it was so much fun. And after that, I ended up doing about 3 more until I was 17. So that was my life. I traveled around and did 3 or 4 shows a month, on the weekends, and I went to public school at the same time, so it was kind of crazy. But yeah.
What was the name of the band?
It was Chelsie Boyd and Divine Cadence.
Okay.
Yes, it was super awesome, and I miss those days terribly. The band was great.
So what kind of music was it?
It was contemporary Christian music. The first 2 albums that I did were mainly cover songs the songs weren't very well known, but I took some of those on, and then the last album that I did had 6 originals on it that I wrote, and that was a very scary adventure for me, because I kind of changed styles and ended up doing a little more Christian rock,
Right.
but it was super fun. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And so I see that you also worked in Pigeon Forge, and it looks like, well, both of you were. Well, you were at Stone Mountain, right? As well.
We both worked at Stone Mountain.
Yes.
That was both of our first professional performing
but at
jobs
separate
at different
times.
times.
Yeah.
But we both did Christmas shows out there, performing. They have these big tents they put up at Christmas time, and they fill them with lights and stuff. So that was fun. It was our first kind of foray into doing professional theater, was Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
And then Pigeon Forge was after that. I moved there to do a show called The Miracle, which was about the life of Jesus, and that was there for 8 years. So I came in for the last season of that, and that was what kind of really opened the doors for me to move here in the first place, was because I met people involved in that show who had moved over to Branson to do Joseph. So that's kind of how that bridge was built.
And so you guys have kind of leaned to the Christian side of things. And if I understand correctly, are you worship leaders at a church as well?
I'm the worship leader at Ozark Mountain Community Church, which is down 65 off 86 in Blue Eye.
Okay.
And so we're there every week. She sings on the team, and it's been great. It's been 2 years I've been on staff there. So in addition to doing shows, I'm very, very thankful and blessed to get to lead worship out there every week.
Awesome. Awesome. So now you've done several different things, and now you're doing your own show where you're the lead in it, right?
There's 4 of us.
There's 4 of you.
We're 2
Okay.
of the 4.
Okay. And so how did that all happen?
Well, actually, it kind of was interesting because whenever they switched from Joseph to Jonah, there a lot of people were without jobs, and a lot of transitions were happening. So I was one of those people, and she had been working in the ABBA show already. So I was able to sort of get in with that show, and that was about 5 years ago, I guess. So that was kind of where it started, and we were at God and Country for quite a while. And then now we've moved to Hamner's Variety Theater. Our shows have actually changed hands. They were owned by a producer in Vegas. He sold the shows to the Hamners, so now we're under new ownership. And the Hamners are amazing people. I'm sure
They're
you know
super
Dave.
awesome.
He's a great guy, so we love them, and we're thankful and just excited about the new things that we're getting to add and kind of adding our own little spin on the shows now that we have a little more control creatively. So, yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. And see, I didn't know that Dave had bought those shows. I did not know that. So, folks, you probably didn't either. So, cutting edge news here on the show.
Breaking news.
If you didn't know. I know Dave's been there, of course, over there several years, and he bought the theater back several years ago now, and so they've got a full lineup over there. And so I just think it's neat that, everybody's got kind of a different story on how they get to Branson. And so you guys have performed other places, and then now you're here, and
We love it here. We bought a house here a couple years ago, so we're planning on sticking around.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is even on Sight and Sound, because just because they have a show there doesn't mean people are always in the future shows. And so
That is correct.
if
yes.
I'm an entertainer, that's kind of scary personally.
Yeah.
But
It's a great place to work. That time there was awesome. But yeah, I think when I left, we had about 20 people that that didn't come back the next year. So it's different every show. The needs are different as far as they need this many guys or this many girls.
Right. But what happens though is we have these entertainers in our community, and so now they start populating in other shows or places.
Yes.
That's
and
true.
so that's happened with Andy Parks is a perfect example of
Andy
that.
Parks. Yeah.
And there's others I know.
Quite a few, yeah. We found that we just loved it here. A lot of people do go back to wherever they're from, but we came here and just found that, there's so many more opportunities here for us than in Atlanta as far as long-time work. So we decided to stick it out, and we've loved it ever since.
Okay, awesome. Okay, we're going to this is a good place for us to stop. We'll be back in just a minute to hear more about their shows. And so stay tuned, and we'll be right back here on Play Branson.
Sing it if you know it. Mamma mia, here I go again. Waterloo, I'm a city that you won the war. If you change your mind, I'm the first in line. I'm young, still free. Take a chance on fun. Now that daddy took the T-bird away. I wish they all could be California. I wish they all could be California. Round, round, get around, I get around. Get around, round, round, I get around. I get around, round, round, I get around.
Welcome back to Play Branson. We're here with Stephen and Chelsie Odom today, and you guys are part of two shows. And the first one we want to talk about is Thank You for the Music, a modern tribute to ABBA. Now, maybe somebody's never even heard of ABBA. We got to tell them what ABBA is.
Sure, it does happen actually. They were huge in the 70s, so their career lasted about 10 years really. Not a huge amount of time, but they released so many hits. So their biggest hit was probably Dancing Queen. Everyone seems to know that one. And if you don't know, the musical Mamma Mia is all ABBA songs. So if you've seen the movie or the musical, then you know probably a lot more songs than you think you do. And actually, Mamma Mia 2 is coming out on her birthday this year in theaters, which is job security for us. So we like that.
But can't hurt the show, can it? No.
Right. We'll be at the theater passing out our rat cards maybe. But no, it's great music. It's really incredible how different some of their stuff is. They had disco, they had ballads. They even had some solo careers as they split up. So, yeah, all kinds of great music in the show, wide variety that people don't maybe realize if you don't know all of their songs. But we cover them all. We're actually a modern tribute, which means we don't impersonate them. So you won't see us.
No wigs or fake guitar playing here.
No, you won't see that. So we kind of take the music that they had and put our own spin on it. So we sing it in our own voices, and we do a lot more choreography than perhaps they did. So it's a lot of dancing, a lot of high energy movement, singing, lights. We have a disco ball this year, which we just added. So that's fun. So when Dancing Queen starts, the disco ball will go. Spoiler alert. short. Sorry about that. But
So can people do people get up and dance?
all
or-
the time.
Really?
Yeah, we encourage it. Yeah.
That is cool.
We make them get up sometimes. But no, it's great. Sometimes they'll be in the aisles, they'll be down front, and we love it. I mean, we try to create more of a concert atmosphere, and if they don't feel comfortable getting up, that's fine. But yeah, we encourage it.
Yeah, sometimes I think, and I mean, I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes I think Branson audiences are a little boring, and I think sometimes they need that encouragement to kind of get out of their shell.
Right.
And
We say it's not
you know,
sitting queen, it's dancing queen. Get on up, do
there
some
you go.
movement.
There you go. It just takes that first person
Right.
sometimes to
It-
do it. No one ever wants to
exactly.
be like first.
Right, just
You
like in
know?
the audience, you need one wooer. Otherwise, you get like a lot of slow claps. So that one wooer can get the whole crowd going.
The one where-
There
there we
it is,
go.
yeah.
There he is right there. So where was ABBA from?
They were from Sweden originally, and they actually they moved around a lot. But a lot of their early recordings, the girls didn't really even speak English, so they had to learn it phonetically, and they didn't really even know what they were saying. They were just making syllable sounds. But the guys, they did most of the writing, and they spoke better English. But as time went on, of course, they did learn English. But yeah, originally from Sweden, and then. Yeah, I guess
They released some songs in Spanish
They
as
did
well.
Spanish songs, Chiquitita, but obviously their music just spread all over the world. One of the guys in our cast is actually from Australia, so he's an Aussie, and he said that it was even more huge in Australia than in the U.S. He said that he's surprised when people here don't know ABBA because everybody over there is a huge ABBA fan, so that's interesting to me.
So talk a little bit about the flow of the show and how it goes.
Sure.
A little bit, or what songs besides Dancing Queen like they're gonna hear.
Well, we kind of go through the history of their career. So we start off with their early hits, and we do a lot of the songs they first released, like Waterloo, which is how they won the Eurovision Song Contest in '74. That was kind of their first big hit. And then we take you through SOS, all their early hits.
Honey Honey or Ring Ring.
Some of the favorites.
Love Me or Leave Me.
And while we're doing this, we're kind of giving you the history of how things developed throughout the group. So there's a little bit of comedy, a little bit of interaction with the cast, a lot of dancing. And then we kind of take you all the way through their dance hits, which is what they're probably most known for, like Gimme Gimme and Man After Midnight.
Voulez-vous.
Voulez-vous. Lay All Your Love on Me is a huge one. So, and then we take a little break, and then we reset, and then we open up the second half with some of their lesser-known songs that the diehard fans will know. But a lot of people, they're great songs, so that's why we do them, but they may be lesser known to some of the people who aren't huge ABBA fans. And then we're back into the great songs like Money, 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 which is a huge song that everybody knows. And then, we finish out strong with some of their solo careers. A lot of people don't know that Benny and Bjorn, the two guys in ABBA, wrote the musical Chess, which was on Broadway. And a big song from that show was actually a pop song called One Night in Bangkok.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
in
know
the
that
80s.
song.
Yeah, Murray Head released that. And so that was a big song that people don't even realize that ABBA wrote. So we do that one in the show. That's a fun one. And then actually Frida, she released a song with Phil Collins called I Know There's Something Going On. And that was a big hit too. So you get to hear the drums of Phil Collins in the background, and that's one of Chelsea's solos. So yeah, just a lot of unexpected songs, I think, that people may not even realize ABBA was involved in.
I'm guessing no one else is doing that Bangkok song in Branson.
I haven't seen it. I don't
I'm
know.
guessing not.
I mean, Clay Cooper may add it in. I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt it. So when can people see this show?
Okay, well, lots of different times. So if you want to catch us, we've got shows Tuesday at 5 p.m., Wednesday at 10 a.m., Thursday at 5 p.m. and Saturday at 2 p.m.
So some different times.
Varied, and the 5 o'clock slots are great. If you want to see a show at 2 and then come see us at 5 and then go see another show at 8 or 7:30, you can make it. So
Okay.
we love that.
Awesome. And so it's at the Hamner's Variety Theater. And so I want to transition because we're running out of time, but we got to get in this other show called Beach Boys
Yes.
California Dreaming. And that's why I wore the blue shirt, because I thought it would fit the Beach Boys theme.
I know,
Kind
sorry,
of.
we're wearing our ABBA costumes.
Well, that's okay. So we're representing it both, but that's okay.
This show is great because, again, we're not impersonators, so it's two guys, two girls, which is a little different for a Beach Boys show. But there's lots of comedy, it's more of a variety show, I would say. So we take you on a journey through the Beach Boys hits, starting with their early hits all the way through the end of their career. So we even get to Kokomo and those kind of songs in their later years. But again, super, super fun and a little different. Both of our shows are not what you would typically experience at a tribute show. So we're proud of the fact that we're kind of putting our own spin on things. You want to talk a little bit about what we do?
Well, in Beach Boys, something really cool is we do like a light up section that's kind of like a dreamy sequence. We have a lot of costume changes, even more than
Yeah.
ABBA, if you can believe
Yeah,
that.
like 20 or something.
Yeah, it's we
Wow.
added that this year. It's new, but it's super fun. Lots of cool colors to look at, and yeah, so.
Well, and here's the question: is who doesn't like the Beach Boys music?
I
mean,
know,
it is like, to me, it's like timeless music because they've been around for I think over 50 years as a band, and I think they're still performing now. It's
still
not all the
going.
original guys,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's just classic, timeless music.
Yeah, it is, and that's what's great about it. And again, varied. They had all sorts of different styles. Their later music was very different from the poppy, beachy sounds that they had when they started. So lots of different types of music, but all so good. And we just like to kind of bring back those memories of people that they had when they were younger. Which we have a hot rod section in the show. We actually have a hot rod on stage, which we added this year. So yeah, it does. It brings back a lot of those memories from the times that people had in the '60s.
Yeah. Now, are you all four singing all the time, or do you guys take turns, or how does that all work?
Yeah, we take different solos. So someone will be in the front, kind of leading the song, and then we'll all take turns. So the girls sing some solos. Go ahead.
James sings most of the high Brian Wilson things.
That's our Aussie.
Yeah. Our
He takes
Aussie.
all the super high falsetto, but we have also added some. We got some Joni Mitchell in the show, some Mamas and the Papas. Some we do Dusty Springfield. The girls sing Where the Boys Are. So
some other
in
stuff.
addition to all the Beach Boys hits that you love, we're also going to do a lot more stuff to kind of show you what the '60s and '70s and even the '80s were about.
So times, because we're running out of time. I need the times when they see that show.
Tuesday 10 a.m., Wednesday 5 p.m., Thursday 10 a.m., and Saturday 10 a.m.
There you go. Okay. So here we've got two great shows, folks, over at the Hamner's Variety Theater here. You've heard about it today from Stephen and Chelsie Odom. And I have to look because I can't remember all this, but the titles of these are Thank You
long.
for the Music, a modern tribute to ABBA. And the other one is Beach Boys, California Dreamin'. And so go to iBranson. You can book those show tickets there at ibranson.com, or you can call 877-BRANSON, and we'll be back in just a moment.
The Best Western Center Point Inn. It's Branson's top hotel in the heart of Branson's entertainment, next to the Titanic Museum. Relax in the indoor pool and hot tub. The hotel offers a variety of room types. Enjoy the free hot breakfast every day. For more information or to make reservations, call 1-877-334-1894.
Okay, Play Branson, we're off site and we are at Dunkin' Donuts. And not just Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins as well. And so let me tell you, there's 31 flavors back there and they look awfully good. So here's the thing, is a lot of times people think Dunkin' Donuts is just donuts. Well, guess what? They have warm sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches. They have cookies, they have sundaes, they have all sorts of things that you're gonna like here at Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin Robbins. Where can you find this? It is on Highway 76, kind of catty corner from the Veterans Memorial Museum. And here's the thing, when you're on vacation, all the calories mysteriously go away. So come have some ice cream or eat some donuts, breakfast sandwiches, maybe you want to just grab a cup of coffee. You can do it all here at Dunkin' Donuts. And so this has been another Play Branson moment, and we'll be back to the studio in just a moment. Welcome back to Play Branson. Donuts and ice cream.
You can't beat that combination.
It is so, yeah, it's yummy. I mean, you know, you can go to one place and get both items over at Dunkin' Donuts. So that's out on West 76, just as people are coming into town. Next weekend, big event in Branson. Do you know what it is?
Elvis weekend, right?
It is.
I'm
It's
so
the
excited.
Elvis Festival at Dick Clark's American Bandstand Theater. And folks, if you've watched the show for any length of time, a while back we had Dean Z on, and Dean is an amazing performer, and you have got to go see his show Friday night, April 13th at 10:45 p.m. Is it 10:45?
I think so.
If not, it might be 10:30. I don't
Yeah.
know, but double check. But it's after the regular Legends show. And Dean is one of the most incredible entertainers. in the world, especially when it comes to tribute artist of Elvis. But he does his own stuff in this show. And so that's coming up next weekend. We have Festivals of Wonder.
Yes.
Begins next Wednesday out at Silver Dollar City. And then our show next week. You want to tell them?
We've got Lane with us from the Bald Knobbers. So excited to have her with us.
And so she's been in town for a while, but she's a new artist on the Branson stage. And so we want to be able to showcase some of the new artists. And I'm so excited for her because she's very talented.
Oh, yes, for sure.
And so that is coming up next week. Folks, if you're thinking about, man, how do I plan my Branson vacation? What should I do? We recommend that you call the folks at ibranson.com or go to their website. You can book their shows and attractions, hotels, or you can call them at 1-877-ENTERTAIN. That's 1-877-ENTERTAIN, toll-free number. You'll get somebody answers the phone here locally in Branson. They don't ship it halfway across the country to somebody else, and they can help you plan their vacation. So lots coming up, going on, and it's the start of a busy vacation season here in Branson.
It is. Exciting.
So anything from a show perspective that you have seen so far that you enjoy?
Oh, I've seen quite a few. I've seen the new Bald Knobbers show, which is fantastic. Clay Cooper's show, and just awesome show so far.
So you've seen good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be back next week.